Welcome to the Yeti Software platform. In this video, we're going to go over the information that you can add into Yeti. We're going to also walk through the mobile app, the dispatch screen, and on the back end, we're going to go over the reports that are gathered while you use the Yeti platform. First, you can start by adding in consumables and equipment. Next, you can add in your users, your subcontractors, and there are no limits for users or subcontractors. We do not charge per user, and you can add as many as you need. Next, we'll add in services. And you can name your services yourself, being as creative as you need to be, listing anything from very specific snow removal services all the way through to spring and summer maintenance services and anything in between. You'll add in your clients, which will be separate from sites, but you'll also add in your sites with the ability to draw a geofence around each site and also draw very specific site maps. The last thing you'll do during setup is create your routes. Additionally, we do have the ability, if you would like to use our scheduling tool. One thing that's going to make Yeti unique, however, is that we do not require our users to create dispatches or to use a scheduling tool. You can simply create routes that can be available at all times for all users if you choose. Next, I'm going to move to the dispatch screen. And while I do that, I'm going to pull up my mobile app as well. Yeti users on the mobile app will have the ability to select a site to service. From there, they'll be able to read through any site notes given and look through any site maps that have been built. Next, users will go ahead and start the site down at the bottom of the screen. Once a site is started, users can add weather conditions, ground conditions, the temperature will populate automatically, and they can add a snow depth as well. Next, we can take before and after photos, and the last mandatory item here will be selecting site services. The site services will be chosen by each user and populated here for selection. While users are using the mobile app, on the dispatch screen, you'll be able to click on a user's name, click on a route that they're servicing. If a site shows up in green, that means the site has been finished. If a site shows up in yellow, that means the site is in progress, such as this route above. And if a site shows up in gray, this means the site has not yet been touched. If I click on this green site here, I'll also be able to see site details. I'll be able to see which services have been performed. I'll be able to look at before and after photos and click through to see a larger version of that photo. And the start and stop time of each site visit. From there, I can either approve, reject, or if needed, edit that site visit. Once a user is complete with a site, they can go ahead and end the site, end the route, and finally we can end our shift. And at that point, this shift is no longer in progress and we'll have the user's shift duration time. Once that's complete, all of this information has to go somewhere. So now we're going to take a look at the reports available in Yeti. The first two reports, the service and route history reports down below that we will discuss, will not have any pricing on them at all, but are used as proof of service reports. The service history will include just about all of the information that was gathered during a site visit. So we'll download one here quickly. And we'll be able to see the site name, start time, stop time, all of the weather and ground condition info, before and after photos, services performed, and consumables used. The route history is going to show us a breadcrumb trail for each user. So we'll be able to see exactly where each person went as they were driving. The billing report down below is going to show you exactly what you are owed by each client. This can also be pushed over to QuickBooks Online. We do have a full QuickBooks Online integration. If you're using QuickBooks Online, you can simply select which records you would like to push over to create a specific invoice and then click the QB button. But this report here will include the name of the site, the start and stop time, the service performed, the charge type, and finally but most importantly, the total amount owed. Additionally, we'll have a subcontractor report. If you are using subcontractors, the information will be very similar to what's included on the billing report, except instead of showing the amounts that the client owes you, we are now going to show you the amounts that you owe the subcontractor for service on a particular site. Next, we'll have an employee timesheet report, which is going to show us the total shift time for each employee that works on each site. So we'll be able to see now the name of the user, start time, completion time, duration of a shift, the hourly rate for that user, and the total amount that they are owed. We also include labor costing and job costing reports, which will look very similar to a billing report. The biggest difference is here, after we get past our total revenue amount, we'll also be able to see our time and materials cost. And eventually, if we go all the way to the right, we'll be able to see our gross margin dollars and percentages. In addition to providing reporting, we do also provide inspection forms and a quoting tool. If you already know all of your costs for labor, your tax rates, and production rates to perform certain services, you can proceed in creating a quote for any current or future client that you may have. I'm going to pull one up now so we can see an example of a quote generated with Yeti. One service per season, the other services here per visit. And we can create that quote here and export that to turn into a client if need be. If you have any questions about Yeti, please reach out to support@yetisoftware.com.